If you click a button today, a physical object can cross the country and land on your doorstep in a matter of hours. Modern logistics run on instant gratification, automated sorting, and perfectly orchestrated delivery drops. This global web of commerce is held together by a microscopic data architecture that tells every machine exactly what it is holding. Before that invisible thread existed, the global economy was choking on a massive bottleneck made of paper and human memory. Walk into a grocery store in the 1950s, and you would see total manual chaos. Every single product in the store had to be individually handled and mentally processed. Cashiers were forced to memorize thick, ever-changing price lists. They typed out the cost of every can of soup and loaf of bread by hand, one digit at a time, leading to endlessly stalled checkout lines and constant manual errors. Two engineers, Norman Joseph Woodland and Bernard Silver, tried to fix this in 1952. As this design concept illustrates, they took Morse code and stretched the dots and dashes into a circular bullseye so a machine could theoretically read it from any angle. The idea was brilliant in theory, but commercial printers of the era routinely smeared the circular inclines, and early optical scanners struggled to read the warped edges accurately. The patent sat completely unused until it expired in 1972. This created a strict limit on commercial scale. As long as humanity had to track physical inventory with their own eyes, a retail operation could only grow so large before the manual workload caused it to collapse. That hard limit finally broke on June 26, 1974, at a Marsh supermarket in Troy, Ohio. The industry had finally agreed to test a standardized format called the Universal Product Code. The very first item to be digitally scanned in retail history was completely random, a mundane pack of Wrigley's Juicy Fruit chewing gum. A cashier passed the yellow package over a dark glass window built by IBM and NCR. The laser read the code instantly, emitting a sharp, solitary beep. This technical comparison shows why it worked. Engineer George Lauer abandoned the 1950s circular design. He realized printing clean, straight vertical lines allowed lasers to easily read the gaps between them without the visual distortion that plagued the bullseye. That silent beep was the exact fraction of a second when physical goods successfully bridged the gap into a digital system. When checkout times plummeted by 40% and inventory tracking became automated, the traditional manual pace of retail became obsolete almost overnight. There was intense initial resistance. Older grocers actively fought the technology, fearing machines would strip away the social element of shopping, the personal interaction of a clerk knowing your weekly purchases by heart. But the math was entirely one-sided. Stores implementing scanners saw their labor costs drop and their data accuracy spike, forcing competitors to either adopt the technology within months or go out of business entirely. The retail workforce evolved immediately. Clerks went from acting as human data entry bottlenecks to managing high-speed, high-volume throughput. Zooming out from the checkout counter, corporations realized the true value was data. Companies used live scans to optimize inventory down to the minute. This created the modern supply chain, coordinating millions of items across oceans in real time. Look at the staggering density of a modern port. The sheer volume of containers passing through these yards requires absolute automated tracking to function. The barcode became the essential backbone of mega retail. Without it, big box stores and global shipping would simply collapse under the weight of their own inventory. The vertical lines from 1974 are still evolving. The high-density squares of a modern QR code descend directly from that original patent, drastically expanding the data a single visual tag holds. In the 1990s, expensive radio frequency RFID tags threatened to replace optical scanning entirely, but the barcode cost almost nothing to print, allowing it to maintain its absolute dominance in global logistics. Today, AI consumer prediction algorithms, blockchain product authentication, and the Internet of Things all rely on physical objects carrying these scannable digital signatures. The greatest technological revolutions don't always announce themselves loudly. Sometimes they whisper from a supermarket scanner at 8:01 a.m. on a Tuesday. If you found this bite of history fascinating, subscribe to @BiteDelayer, one bite of history every day.